One of the great lessons that I've learned is that the true heroes of heaven are not well known to men, but very well known to God. I learned this lesson a number of years ago, 1 year prior to the collapse of the Soviet Union, when I went to Moldova to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. I went to the city of Belzi, and in that city, it was filled with atheists. The stadium was there, and I went to preach, and there was a lot of tension because the city council was opposed to it. But they asked me to come and bring the good news of Jesus Christ. And when I went there that day, there was a great battle that was taking place for the hearts and souls of people. I want to show you what took place in that moment. So I come to the place of the invitation. They've never seen anything like this before. Now remember, they've never had a public invitation. So I say, if you would like to know Christ, first I have everyone to stand to their feet and bow their heads. I said, if you would like to know Christ, I want you to raise your hand. No one raises their hand. Now I'm in a dilemma because I'm saying, what's going to happen? If I ask them to come forward and no one comes, then it's going to be embarrassing with the city council being opposed to this. It's going to be an item of ridicule. What should I do? And my heart was pounding. I was, as I was talking, I was praying, and I said, oh God, tell me what to do. So I finally said, all right, if you'd like to know Christ, I'm going to ask you to come forward. One lady, a little peasant lady, comes out, this lady here, and she walks down, and she's holding flowers in her hand. She's the only person that comes forward. She walks to the platform out of the stands, and with courage, not worrying what anyone would say or think, all by herself. She walks in front of me, she stands there, and then she reaches up to the platform and she hands me flowers. Now, after she does that, she goes to her knees and she begins to cry unto God. As she begins to cry unto God, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds come after her. And at the end, we had 2,000 people that you can see there who come forward and give their hearts to Jesus Christ. All because there was this one lady who was willing to come out and make that commitment and cry unto God. Well, the story didn't end there. In fact, when we returned to the United States, I received a phone call from a lady who had been meeting with my wife for many years in a prayer group. They had been praying for Moldova and what God was doing there. They had prayed for me. They had prayed for these evangelistic meetings. She called me and she said, Sammy, I've got to come to your office. I've got to show you something. And she brought her prayer diary with her, and she began to tell me what happened. I want to just let her tell you what took place in her life during those days.
So I began to praying for the people in the Kishinev area, that they would hear His word. And as I was praying, in my mind's eye, I saw this little peasant woman. And I didn't see her face, it was just her back. And she was sitting at a little kitchen table. And she had a kerchief on, so it was something different, for me. So the first prayer, by the way, I write my prayers down, and I'm so glad because I don't get to remember as much as I used to. But this was my first prayer. Lord, for Cass, please protect her from outside pressure. I know that she probably doesn't have the kind of time that I do. Please give her the same freedom from pressure that you've permitted in my life.
Wow.
Guard her, Lord, and help her to know that you are with her. That you have a plan for the Kishinev area and the land beyond. And that you will bring it about. And then I just asked the Lord to give me the same kind of faith He had given Kat.
If God can use one ordinary lady to touch another ordinary lady who would touch an entire nation, what could God do with you? He's an extraordinary God, and He will use you if you will seek His face.